Alright, what's up guys? So, disclaimer, just at the start of this video, this is going to be talking about the thing I mentioned previously in a video about a week ago on move speed, talking about the biggest issue in the game. However, that video was a lot more educational, more informative, a lot more composed. That was kind of like, somebody like giving a lecture on a topic. This, no, that's not what this is. This is crazy man screams on the side of the street about the end is near. So, just to start off with, look at this build I'm running right here. By all accounts, this build is not slow. 292 move speed, 97.2%. That should not be considered slow by any means. I'm not wearing double move speed boots, yes, so technically speaking, I could be a little bit faster. If I had double move speed boots and they were both max rolled, I'd be about 298 because these are 4 move speed boots. I'd be about 298 or, like 99.6% or 3% or whatever it is. But anyways, I could be a little bit faster. But this is by no means a slow build, right? 292 on a fighter is pretty fast, unless you're wearing like loose trousers or light foot boots. And then, just to further that up, let's see if I take 3 pieces of my armor off. If I take off my chest, my legs, and my helmet, I am 312 move speed. That's pretty fast. If considering the cap is 330, 312 move speed is really, really fast. So you could say, generally speaking, at 312, you'd be able to catch a lot of people. Well, if we go back in this VOD, oh, I think it's about right there actually. If we go back about right here and we check at the start of the game, of this game I played. So you see me leaving here because my teammate's dead. Let's look at this. Let's look at this warlock that was in my game with, oh, here you go. There's the warlock and the rogue. Let's see. Oh, here he is. Okay. You see, he's fully geared. He's got on armor on every single piece, as he should, and he's got boots on. His boots are, let's see, I believe he has double move speed boots. To be fair, pretty high move speed. These are good boots, double move speed boots. With his book out, let's take a look at his stats, shall we? Oh, 311 move speed. And if you remember, take back like 10 seconds in this video. With 3 pieces of my armor off and 1 move speed boots, I was 312 move speed. So if I stripped off 3 pieces of armor, my helmet, my chest, and my legs, and I don't have my weapons up, I am 1 move speed faster than this fully geared warlock with his book out. So, I mean, I don't even I don't even know what to say about that. Like what do you do? How do you ever catch somebody? Like, do I have to completely strip naked except for my boots to chase this guy to try to kill him? Because that's not gonna work, because then I got no stats. Then I die because I'm 100 HP because I have no gear on. And then, furthermore, even past this, if you look at this rogue, all right, let's see if I can get it where where does he like stand up at? Let's see. Oh, also, this is something funny really too, right here. Let's see. So this guy when he stands up, 299 with his dagger out. So, oh, if I take all my armor off, I'm actually, I'm 13 points faster than this guy. That's a pretty big deal. With my armor on, however, I'm still 6 move speed slower than him. If I had double max move speed boots on, I would still be 1 move speed slower than him, and that's with his weapon out. If he puts his weapon up, he 10 move speed faster than me, assuming I'm double max. I just never catch this guy either. Not a chance in the world. And then a lot of people are going to be like, oh, it's just warlocks. It's just rogues that run that fast. No other characters run that fast because they don't have to build any damage. 296 move speed, book out, wizard. Interesting. That's pretty cool, I think. Like, and then you have to wonder, how are you supposed to play the game as a character that's not 320 move speed fists out, right? Like, how do you do it? Like, how are you supposed to play this game into all these other characters? And the answer is you can't. Like, unless they play really, really poorly, they just never die to you because they will just outrun you over and over and over. And by the way, this rogue, he only has 1 move speed roll in his boots. He's not even double move speed boots. These aren't light foots. These aren't laced turn shoes. This could be much faster. Warlock was the exact same way. This Warlock, he has Dark Leafs on. By the way, this is him. He's 321 fist out. If these were Lightfoots, he could have another, or or at least turn shoes, he could have another 5 or 6 move speed. He would literally be almost move speed capped in full armor. And then it's like I said, so I just have to ask, how? How are you supposed to play into this? And like I said, the answer is you just can't. There's no way to do it because they're going to outrun you. They're literally faster than you with your weapon out. And like this said, I haven't even talked about when you hold your weapon out, whether you're a barbarian, whether you're a cleric, even a bard for an example. Whenever you pull your weapons out, you have a sword and you have a shield, or you have a mace and you have a shield, or whatever you have. That's literally like a minus 30 penalty. So you have 10% move speed penalty, and then that's almost like 6% more than the people that have a book. So automatically, you're already slower than them naturally, and your weapons weigh 3 times as much as their weapons do. So I just like, once again, how do you catch them? How do you play into this? And like I said, you don't. And that's the problem. You can't. There is nothing you can do because they literally, like Warlock, this class, it's not just what I think is it's not just move speed. There's a lot of other things that play into it. But one of the biggest issues is the fact that they get to build all this move speed for free and they build almost zero damage. Like this guy, let's see if I even check. This guy had like 20% magic power or something, I think. Or like not 20, like 30% magic power. You literally don't have to build like any damage because for one, you have really high base damage, and then two, you have damage rolls on gear. Like look, blue spellbook, 2 magic healing, 2 add mem cap. And this guy curses me for 40% of my health bar in one curse. It's just like look, he's okay, remember, 38% magic power. He's in like full agi gear. But you don't have to build like hardly any damage to actually do anything. Because for one, warlocks have a 30 damage curse of pain. The base damage is insane. And I get it. People have talked about buffing base damage for a long time. But the problem is, you don't want to buff base damage too much. You want to buff it enough that it feels good at low gear, but not where you get to the point where you don't need to build damage for it to do damage. You want to buff it enough where the base damage is okay for, like I said, for low gear, but then high gear relies on scaling, so you actually have to build into it. Why are these classes allowed to build so little damage and still do so much? And this is kind of specifically on Warlock and Wizard. Rogue is a bit different. Rogues do really need to build quite a bit of damage to actually do damage, especially to tankier classes. But these casters, Wizard, Warlock, they just don't do it. The only class that really does anything against them is like Demon Form. Warlock, which is funny, Warlock's broken in 2 different aspects. But the only class that really does anything to them is Demon Form Warlock. And even later, I like in this video, we ran into a Warlock that with his crystal sword out was outrunning me. This guy was tankier than me, faster than me, and he did more damage than me. He was killing me in 3 hits of the crystal sword. He was outrunning me, and he was tankier than me by about 40%, 40 HP, and like 10% PDR, and like 30% MR. So like, what the fuck? Like, what do you do? I don't get it. Like, I've been trying to figure it out for the longest time. But when these classes are just running around 20, 30 moves be faster than you with your fist out, you pull your weapon out. Like, let's say you're using Falchion Heater Shield or Arming Sword Heater Shield even. Like, let's go low. If you're using Arming Sword Heater Shield, that is minus 40 move speed when you pull your weapons out. Because a lot of people, like, I know I'm going to get to a lot of people like, oh, you just use Sprint and you catch them. I mean, first of all, that's stupid to say, but here I'm going to go tell you why. So let's say I pull my weapons out, right? And because like you have to, to pull your weapons out, I mean, to hit somebody, you really got to pull your weapons out. Even if I don't, if I pop Sprint at them, Sprint gives me 45 move speed for 2 seconds, 30 move speed for 2 seconds, and 15 move speed for 2 seconds. The last 15 is completely useless. So really, you have about 4 seconds to catch anyone. And the thing is, like I said, this Warlock with his fist out is 320 move speed. With my fist out, I'm 293. So whenever I pop my whenever I pop my Sprint for 2 seconds, I'm gonna hit the move speed cap because I can't exceed it or anything with Sprint. So for 2 seconds, I'll be faster than him, and then for the next 2 seconds, I get 30 move speed. So I'm only I'm like 1 or 2 points faster than him. Otherwise, I'm about the same move speed. So if I pop Sprint at this guy, I basically have 2 seconds to cover the distance and get to him. Not to mention, obviously, he can then immediately phantomize, but we're not even going to talk. We're like just going to live in some magical world where this guy isn't phantomizing, or it's down, or he just doesn't have it because he's an idiot, right? I have 2 seconds to cover the distance between me and him, which he should never be that close to begin with, because why would he? You have plenty of range on your spells. He should never be that close to begin with. But if I cover that distance in that 2 seconds, I now have 2 more seconds where I can maintain the speed with him, and then 2 seconds where I'm still slower than him. However, if I pull my weapons out, I automatically lose every benefit I gain from Sprint. Except for I gain 5. I have 5 with my weapons out. Sprint gives you 5 move speed for 2 seconds, effectively. That's the only benefit you get, the positive. Anything else is overall a negative from your weapons. And that's like I said, it's not even just fighter that has this issue. Barbarian, they're not even faster. They get 10%, so they get 30 move speed. So most barbarians, unless you're rolling full move speed, which is its issue in its own right, are you're still slower. So these casters, unless they play incredibly bad, you just can't catch them because they're just 311 move speed with their book out. And then so like I mentioned last time, a lot of like different like things you could do to solve this, and I think something I've come to the conclusion of is one, spellbook needs a higher move speed penalty. Completely ignoring move speed meta being like the de facto thing that's always been. How long have you guys ever seen a class go this long with there being one weapon that is objectively the best and the other two are memes to use at best, right? Think rogues have had Castellan, Stiletto, Rondel, Short Sword, all being very, very viable. Fighters, Arming Sword, Falchion, which is still pretty low. Then you have things like Morningstar. You have Slayer options with things like what's it called like Flange Mace or even Rondel Fighter, all viable options. Barbarian, War Maul, Double Axe, Bardiche, Viking Sword, Horseman's Axe. All of these have been good at different times. Cleric, I mean they don't really melee, but they have Flanged Morningstar. However, casters, it has always been Spellbook, like always. There has never been a time when someone's like, "Oh yes, I'm going to use a crystal ball or a magic staff to cast." The only time you would ever see somebody do that is if they're using Xerxes or Illusory. And even then, generally speaking, a book is still better. So why have we not changed this? Why have we not had some nerf to these items? And buff, like even if it's not just a nerf to spellbook, I mean honestly it should be a nerf to spellbook. But why haven't we got a nerf to spellbook when that has been the best caster thing of all time? It is a two-handed weapon, technically speaking, that has a 10 movement speed penalty. It's like, listen, if you don't want to make these casters slower inherently or lower their ways to get movement speed, do this. Make it so they have a bigger penalty for running and casting. If you put it up, you're still very fast, no one catches you. If you pull your book out and you start casting spells, then you're a lot slower and you have to think of your positioning better. Because the way warlocks and wizards can play right now is they can play just slightly out of melee range or just a little bit farther than that, like way closer than they need to, just because they know that you can't catch them. Warlocks especially, they can play as close as they want because even if you use Sprint, use Rage, use whatever to get close to them, you can just Phantomize and walk away. Wizards, if you try to get close to them, Fireball, Magic Missile, Slow, Lightning Strike, all these other random spells that they can possibly throw at you. Ice Shield, all of these tools they have that get you off them or get them away from you. They have all of these things that just makes it so frontliners can't do anything. What it ends up being is all these quote unquote frontliner classes are just meat shields. You just sit there and you just tank and tank and tank and you can't ever do anything back. And the tanking is entirely reliant on having someone to heal you. You need a cleric. If you don't have a cleric, there is no tanking. You just have to try to run from them. Because otherwise, it doesn't even matter. You could have 75% MR, 400 HP. Eventually, they're going to kill you because you can't do anything back to them. Like, you could literally take a base kit warlock, or not base kit, I guess, because you're a little faster. But if you had a 320 move speed warlock versus a fighter with 75% MR and 500 HP, and you put them in some of these ruins modules, eventually that warlock would kill the fighter. Like, with Torture Mastery, unless he played really, really bad, the fighter is never going to catch him because he's just going to run circles around him over and over and over. And you can be like, oh, we'll shoot them with a range weapon. Generally speaking, most of the time, they're going to outheal your range weapon. If you have a crossbow, they will absolutely outheal it. Unless you're like, maybe if you're headshotting them over and over and over. And that brings its own issue of you're trying to headshot some guy that's almost movement speed capped, right? Like it's just from a distance away. Like it's not happening, right? It just ain't happening. And a lot of people are gonna be like, oh my god, this guy's so stupid for saying that. Of course the fighter would win. Generally they wouldn't. Like they just wouldn't. You can't catch them. It doesn't matter how much more geared, how much damage you do, how tanky you are, or any of these things if you can't get to the other person. Eventually they will kite you out and they will kill you. And this is speaking from experience. I literally have played fighter kits that are 200 HP, 75% MR, and I fight warlocks and I literally can't do anything to them. They just sit there, they throw curses at me while I'm trying to make it to them, and they just run away. Especially if they're running Hellfire, because they can just Hellfire doors and they just keep going. They will literally run the entire map. Your only two options are run them into a dead end they can't Hellfire a door on, or run them into another team and hope the other team kills them. Like that is genuinely your option. But at the end of the day, movement speed just like it has to be addressed. It's like it really does. It makes the game feel so bad. If you play solos or you play duos and your character is anything less than like 310, 320 movement speed, you are considered slow and you will get outran by almost every single person in the lobby. And that is so stupid. Like being 100, like you should never like being 100% plus movement speed should not be the norm. That should be abnormal. That should be like, oh, I built my kit to be really really fast, so I'm 100% plus. It should not be, oh, I just threw on some normal pieces of gear with 5 move speed boots. Haha, guess what? I'm 315 move speed, because that's what it ends up being. And a lot of people look at it and be like, oh, if you just remove move speed on boots, it'll fix the issue. It won't. Literally, if you took this Warlock's boots, took both move speed rolls off of them, he would still be 300 plus move speed with his book out. Clearly, it doesn't fix anything, right? So there has to be other things done. Either, nerf like how fast they are when they're casting, nerf like the movement speed on Spellbook, do something. I don't know, but at this point, I'm losing my fucking mind. I cannot keep doing this, man. Like, I cannot keep playing this game and just get permakited, which having my ability to play the game removed from me because they put on fucking lighter gear than I did, so they're just 100 fucking miles faster than me. It's so stupid. It makes this game feel like shit. And what pisses me off the most is that this isn't new. This has been the meta for literally over a year. This has been the thing. Whether it's wizards, bards, warlocks, rogues, fucking rangers, clerics, it doesn't matter. Barbarians, fucking demon warlocks, even slayer fighter. They've all had metas where they're really, really good because they're the fastest character at the fucking time and they just chase you down and beat the shit out of you and you can't do anything. That's literally what this game has been about for over a year, and the fucking Iron Hammer can't fix it. Why? Just fix it, man. Just make the game not feel horrible for any character that's not 330 move speed on load up. I am begging, hands and knees, praying to God, allow me to play the game. I'm not even asked to be, like, the strongest. Just give me a chance. Like, don't take my ability to play the game away from me. Like, when these characters are my move speed, fist out, running, while they have a book out casting a spell, what the fuck do I do? And with that, I'm gonna wrap the fucking video up before I lose my mind. Um, yeah, like I said, this is just kind of just like a crazy old man screaming on the road about something stupid that's never gonna get fixed because they don't know what the fuck they're doing with their game. But anyways, that's gonna wrap it up for me. Yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.